Hi, Sue here from Mystic Matters with your April tarot reading. Hope everyone's keeping well. Okay, we're starting off here. Before I forget, for any new people, I dowsed for the cards ahead of time, and so I'm already in setup to go. All right, we're starting off here with the Fool card. Forgive the lighting; it was a bit dicey with me. The Fool card. This is starting off the month with this kind of coming out of your comfort zones, whether you really want to or not. Sometimes we have to be pushed. It's like a bird in the nest. It's the mother kind of pushing it out of the nest in order for it to fly. So it's maybe realizing that it's might be nice and comfortable where you are, but really it's got to the point that you're existing rather than living. So it's time to take that leap of faith. It's time to jump off that cliff into the unknown, not knowing exactly what's out there ahead of you. So this is a beginning. It's the first card of the Major Arcana in the tarot, and it is a beginning of new things. New opportunities can be made, but we need to take the leap of faith in order to materialize those things. All right. The first, say, 10 days of the month, I split my months into 3. So the first 10 days or so, this is the King of Cups. And with the King of Cups, he's very, can you see, he's just so, it's this kind of emotional, and he's very much the counselor, the healer, very, very good at helping other people, not so great at letting other people help him. So we need to be open to accepting help as well as kind of giving it. But the Cups is about emotions, and it's about work and doing things that we love to do as well. But it can feel quite vulnerable here, which makes sense, because after we've jumped off the cliff into the unknown, after we've taken that leap of faith, we possibly can feel very vulnerable, and maybe we need a bit more help than we would normally ask for, a bit more reassurance that we haven't made a mistake, that all is good. It's also within the first 10 days, this is needing to be very focused and disciplined, because when we get emotional, quite often our heads can be all over the place. And so we get over kind of worried about, is this going to work? Is that going to work? Why is that person not doing things I've asked them to do? You know, what's happening with this? What's happening with that? And what we do is we with this real focus and discipline, we can bring all that into line, because otherwise we're going to be wasting our energy getting frustrated if people aren't doing the things we wanted them to, and that energy is wasted. It can be much better used trying to achieve your goals or going for one specific aim rather than dispersing your energy all over the place. In the middle of the month, there's also this tendency to worry. So if we have depleted our energy, if we have kind of really just worn ourselves out with worry, then we can end up in a prison of our own making. So when this card comes up, I always advise, if there's things that worry you, then deal with it. Write everything down in a list. And when you write things down in a list, then you can cross them off. And it could be big or small stuff, but go through the list and say, okay, can I do anything about this? If not, what's the point of worrying? But if you can, then do it. You don't have to worry anymore. But actually, by writing it down somewhere, it stops all these kind of so much of the buzzing around in your head, because you're not going to forget it, and you're going to be able to kind of move through it. It makes it more tangible, I suppose. And also it can just show you that actually you're worrying about things that don't need to be worried about. So this is a card, say, for the middle of the month. Try not to get trapped in this kind of self-inflicted prison, because you block off your intuition, you block off your guidance. And a good way of doing that is actually setting some goals. So bring yourself into line and say, okay, I'm wasting all this time worrying about things. So let me set some goals. Where do I want to be in 3 months? Where do I want to be in 6 months? Where do I want to be in a year's time? And then work towards that, work backwards. Well, what do I need to do in order to get to that place? And then just work backwards. And with that, it takes away the worry, because you know you're doing something, you know you're doing something constructive, and it will stop you just drifting. So this is a really good way of combating worry. Just throw yourself into a plan. Even if your goals change, that's okay, but it's important to have some. Even if it's just, I'm going to read this book at the end of the week, by the end of the week, or something, just something tangible that you know you've achieved. The last 10 days of the month, again, this can be avoided, and it's when bad feeling or resentments bubble up, and they come to the surface and they're expressed. So it's people just venting. It might not be at you, it might be people around you, and it's important here not to take sides, and also make sure people know exactly where you stand. Just say, well, I'm not on that person's side, I'm not on that person's side. I just don't want to be involved in this. It's not my business. And then nobody thinks, oh, well, by you keeping quiet, you are siding with them. So because people misinterpret silence as being agreed with. So you need to be very clear that you don't want to get involved. But on the other hand, it's also you yourself. Try not to do things that will try to be transparent in your dealings with people. Probably the best way of putting it, because then otherwise people won't come at you and say, well, you said this, you said that, but you didn't do it properly, you didn't mean it, things like that. So be aware that actions have results, they have consequences. So make sure that all your actions don't have negative consequences. Your intuition is also going to get very much stronger. The High Priestess is all about kind of feeling as though your life is a bit on shifting sands. If you're somebody that likes to be in control of everything, it can be a bit disconcerting. But it's basically if you follow your intuition, if you follow your instincts, you won't go far wrong. But it can feel a bit uncertain, and that's again why it's a good idea to have some goals set, some plans in place, so you're not completely wrong-footed when you have this time of, well, I feel to do this. My head tells me I should do one thing, but I really feel to do something else. Go with what you feel to do. The head can be, I don't know, it can take us off course if we're not careful, because logic doesn't always do it. At the end of the month, there's somebody going to be coming into our lives. Excuse me, I'm getting a bit dry here and I want to start coughing. Okay. Now, this can be a new love relationship for some, but it can equally be a business partnership, because with the cups, it can be to do with love or business, because, you know, we're meant to love both what the work we do as well as people around us. So this is somebody that you don't know very well, but you're getting to know them a bit better. And so it's time to feel vulnerable with another person, learn to trust them. So this is somebody new coming in, Again, can be love, it can be business. Your luck is going to be the wheel of fortune, and it's turning, and it's going to send opportunities your way. Not always ones that you will have been looking for or expecting. Don't dismiss things out of hand because they're unfamiliar. They don't come in the package you expect, so therefore you deem them worthless. That nothing's worthless. Even if it's not something you resonate with, at least you've learned that it's actually out there. Some opportunities come in you don't even know exist beforehand, and it might be appropriate for a later date. But with the Wheel of Fortune, it is often opportunities that come out of the blue, things that you haven't been looking for. So just give everything a good think about things before, and don't dismiss anything out of hand. You don't have to accept everything, but at least give it the time of day, and have a good reason for rejecting it if you decide to do that. So those are the cards for April. So it feels very much like an up and down month, quite a lot of emotional stuff going on, kind of needing to keep yourself under control, not to worry, be transparent, set some goals, be prepared to be vulnerable, be prepared to not just help other people, but allow them to help you as well. Listen to your intuition, and allow new partnerships to come in. So whether excuse me, whether it's to love or business, allow those partnerships to come in at the end of the month. But it all sets off with courage. Have you got the courage to come away from your comfort zones? A life that is no longer completely fulfilling you, but it's comfortable. Are you prepared to take that leap of faith or not? Because if you don't take the leap of faith, none of the other things can happen. You'll just stay where you are for another month or so, or year or so, or 10 years or so. It's completely up to you. But this is very much, what happens is very much in your own hands, whether you are prepared to trust the universe to catch you when you take a risk or two, and ultimately open your mind, open your heart to new opportunities, and recognize that not everything comes exactly packaged the way you would expect it to. So don't judge a book by its cover. And I think that's about it for April. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and that trials and tribulations don't come to your door. And hope to see you next month. Bye.